Never thought that I would be involved in politics at all. In 2017, when I was watching one of my sons play basketball, I was reading the Metro newspaper. Remember when there were newspapers? Mm-hmm. And on the front cover was, "We should not celebrate our centennial or the 150th anniversary of Canada." And it was Dalhousie, a student who was the president of the union, the student union, saying that, we were settlers, colonialists, we should push back and not celebrate Canada. And I come from a long line of people who have served in the military, mm-hmm. in the Navy. Mm-hmm. My mother was a Wren. My dad was in the Navy. I'm a patriot. My parents were patriots. And I thought, you know what? I will never not celebrate my country. And so that's kind of how I started looking at what was going on in the political realm. And then when I started seeing Trudeau say that our borders were open, basically, everyone's welcome to Canada. Well, that shouldn't be a thing. Mm-hmm. You know, the government is responsible for national security and our economic well-being, as well as our wellness, for the welfare of Canadians. I thought there's something going on here in Canada. It doesn't look right. So then I started to do research on, what parties would actually be aligned with my beliefs. And I thought most Canadians. And so that's when I started following Maxime Bernier, who had stepped away from the Conservative Party and created his People's Party of Canada. Mm-hmm. And I went to see him at a presentation in January 2019 in Halifax, and I went up to him and I said, "If you need people to run for you, I will be one of them." And that's how everything started for me. So I found that the People's Party of Canada, their policies aligned more with my views and my beliefs and what I see as a future for Canada. And I didn't see any of the other parties really have a platform like that.
For people who aren't familiar with the People's Party, if you had to summarize that in a blurb here, how would you do that?
The People's Party has a vision for Canada, and I think it's a vision that many Canadians have. Mm-hmm. And it's for putting Canadians first. So when we have those taxpayers' dollars, we're bringing it back to what can we do for Canadians, and not to make them dependent upon government. We want to empower Canadians. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that the People's Party thinks about, is empowering Canadians and always thinking about Canadians first, because that's what a government is supposed to do, and believes in smaller government so that you don't have to keep increasing the taxes on people, and you want people to be able to reap the rewards from their work and not have to pay over half of their, say, bonus money to the government. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing that in some families where someone, makes maybe $20,000 bonus, but only gets to keep half mm-hmm. or less.
Right.
So we want to empower Canadians, and we want to ensure that the government is working for Canadians. And then the extra money that we have, for, say, tsunami relief or anything like that, sure, we can provide that to other nations, but we have to put Canada first. Sure. And so the responsibility is for national security, economic prosperity, and the welfare of Canadians.
Okay. And you're a candidate for the PPC in what will be your riding?
Yes, correct? It's Dartmouth Cole Harbour.
Okay. When the time comes for an election, whenever that happens, because at this point, who knows when that's going to happen? Does the PPC intend to have a candidate in each riding? Do you know,
yes.
in the province?
Yes,
okay.
We do. We do. Max would love to have 343.
Sure.
Even last election, I can't remember how many we had, over 300.
What do you think the overall sentiment is from the Conservative Party toward the People's Party? From
my experience in my riding, I think that they don't want the People's Party to have a seat in Parliament, because I think we're the only party right now who's really pushing back against mass immigration, and we'd like targeted immigration. And I don't even hear the Conservatives talking about that. I think if we had people in Parliament, we could actually cause a trigger effect in the next election. We could even get more. And it could hurt the Conservative Party, and it would hurt the other parties too.